Congratulations, you made it to my office. Pardon my voice. Um, Allergies seasons are changing. It's almost summertime, and anytime the seasons change, my voice just goes crazy like this with congestion, and everything tastes like cardboard, and my eyes are always kind of watery. Anyway, it's 1 week. Today's Friday the 6th. Next week is Friday the 13th. And that's the last day of the year. The last day of my full year of teaching. It's already over. It feels like it went by fast, but then when I really think about it, nah, it didn't. It was a long, long time. So this is kind of my SOST video that's a reflection on my first year of teaching. To all you prospective teachers out there, this is for you coming up to starting their first year of teaching. I guess I'm just going to talk about things I've learned, things I feel like I did well at, things I feel like I really still need improvement with. I mean, we're always going to be improving. First year, second year teachers, 15th year teachers, we're always improving things, if you care. Unfortunately, there are some teachers out there who just don't give a crap, and they, whatever. Anyway, so overall, if I were to give myself a grade, like I do to my students every day, I think I would give myself a solid 88%. That's a B plus. And I feel like that's an honest B plus. Not being generous, I'm being honest with myself. Which is a very high grade for any first year teacher, in my opinion. But I am giving myself an 88%. Mostly because I think I had a tremendous amount of good days versus bad days. I can't even count on one hand how many really bad days that I had. And if I had a bad day, it was because a lesson bombed, or because, you know, a kid said something about, just like, why are we doing this? This is pointless, or this is boring. And those little comments will ruin my day. That's just how I am. So, I mean, that's not even bad, really. I mean, to a lot of people, bad would be like, you know, a student saying, you suck, or I hate you, or you're a waste of a teacher, you're a horrible person, or, admin coming up to you and saying, hey, you're not really doing that good, or something like that would really be considered a bad day. And I haven't had any of those, thankfully. I'm very fortunate. But I'm feel like I'm skilled enough to make sure those things don't happen. So, you got to pat yourself on the back every now and then. There's nothing wrong with that. There is something wrong with gloating, though, and that's not what I'm doing. I'm proud of myself for getting through this year, and for, just putting my best effort every day. And I feel like I have done that for the most part. There's some days where you're not 100%, and you know it. You're not bringing your A game. And there's nothing wrong with that. I mean, every day is hard as a teacher. There's never an easy day. But sometimes you create easy days to give yourself that, that relaxed day that every teacher needs, especially first-year teachers. So, what things do I feel like I still need to improve on? I feel like I still need to improve on my firmness, my strict ability. I'm very laid back. I'm very relaxed. I have a lot of patience, which are great attributes to have as a teacher. But sometimes having too much of a laid back attitude is not a good thing, because, I don't know, there's some students who get a lot of respect for teachers who are really kind and nice and laid back and approachable and all that stuff. But there's also students that have a lot of respect for teachers who are able to hold their ground and lay down the law when it needs to, and make sure that students are 100% responsible for things that they do, or whatever, or they're held accountable for the things that they do. And I'll admit sometimes I'm not good at that. Sometimes I'm too lenient with things, whether it be with absent work or kids not focused in class. I'm not as firm as I need to be. I've gotten better since my student teaching, that's for sure, but I'm still not at that level I want to be at yet. There have been moments where my students see that I do carry a firm hand if I need to, uh, but it's just it's not 100% there enough. I feel like I control a room really well. If it gets out of hand, I feel like I can bring it back really quickly. Um, but yeah, I can get better at the strict part, the firm part. Not so much to where I'm an asshole or where I'm mean or whatever. Strict and just being plain mean and weird are two different things. Um, Another thing I want to get better at is posting grades sooner. I'd like to be, an every Friday new grades are up kind of guy, but that just did not happen. Uh, it wasn't like I was waiting once a month. It was like once every 2.5 weeks I'd have new grades posted, which is all right. I think it's not too bad. Um, what else do I feel like I need to improve on? I think I really like to. Uh, I'm a guider. I'm a big time guider, holding hands kind of teacher. To the point where like I read to them. We read every single book that I taught in class, except for night, which was at the end. But I did not have them take books home to read by themselves. And I wish I did that a little bit more because they need the practice of reading and struggling on their own, which they did in class, but not as much as I should have. For night, they pretty much read the whole thing on their own, and they did a pretty good job at it, but I can tell they felt like they had this sluggish, like, oh gosh, I have to read more by myself kind of attitude, and that was just because we haven't done that throughout the year, so it was kind of like a surprise to them. So I need to do more of that next year. They need to read independently more. Uh, what else? I probably should have prepared before I started recording. I'm sure there's more that I can. Incorporating more technology. I did a good job. We got our own iPads and we used them a lot with studying and different activities, like creating a Facebook profile for Lord of the Flies characters, creating their own multiple choice tests using different apps, creating cartoon strips for scenes. I mean, we did some good stuff with iPads. I'm proud of myself for that. Things that I feel like I'm really good at. Establishing a rapport with the kids. I'm almost immediate with that. I have great relationships with my students. I feel like I know them as people, not just as you are a student here at Sanger High School. Your job is to learn the things that I teach. That's not the. It's more than a surface level thing with my students, and I'm glad that I have that because it just makes the connection between me and my students more genuine, and there's something special about that. So I'm good at establishing a rapport. I feel like I'm good at establishing a safe and comfortable learning environment. Um, I'm good at. I always try to bring my sense of humor in there. I'm just myself when I teach. I don't put on this hello class attitude when I teach. I just walk in there and do my thing. One thing my master teacher told me was to try on different personas. Some days be the strong, silent teacher. Other days be the happy-go-lucky, whatever teacher. And I haven't done that as much as I should. Just to throw them for a loop. One day just be super mean and quiet. Or not mean, but just, stern and quiet. So yeah, I have good control, good rapport. I feel like my lessons are very dynamic and collaborative and meaningful. I feel like I am good at embedding meaningful life things in my lessons. Like, I don't know. I just feel like there's some substance to things. Not everything, but a lot of things. And I got a lot of inspiration from Pete Holmes and his monologues for some of my lessons. And my end of the year speech is actually inspired a lot by Pete Holmes because he says a lot of great things in his monologues. Pete Holmes, check him out. He's hilarious. So that's the end of the first year. BITSA first year is done. I got one more year of that. And then crossing my fingers for tenure next year. That would be awesome. Yeah, I'm going to miss my kids a lot. They're always going to hold a special place in my heart because they are my first set of students with me being an actual legitimate teacher, not a student teacher. I'm in my own classroom. I'm going to remember these kids forever. And it's bittersweet. You know, it's great seeing them walk. Right now, I have no Fs. No Fs in my classes. And I still have to get my final project. So, but no Fs. I have a couple Ds, which I'm not too happy about. But, I mean, you know, my class is not hard, but no excuse for not having at least a C in my class. But anyway, I'm very proud of the fact that there's no Fs. Yeah, it's just overall been a great year. These last couple weeks have been taxing, very emotionally draining. Everyone just has cabin fever, and we're going stir crazy, and we just want to go out for summer break. But hey, you know, it's going to be great. My final project I wanted to make a little bit more meaningful than just here's a test or here's an essay, write this. I'm having them create an awareness video, I guess you could say, for the bystander effect and indifference towards injustice. Basically, what should people do if they witness somebody or a group of people being hurt or discriminated against? What should people do? And try to wake up people and try to motivate them to actually do something for anybody that they see is going through some kind of trouble. So they're going to create an awareness video and then tie that to Night and how the Holocaust was basically the biggest example or the worst example of bystander effect in history. My wife. Let's get this on film. Hello? Okay. All right. Bye. So annoying. Anyway, just kidding. 13 minutes. I think that's enough. So, if you are a fellow first-year teacher or 10th-year teacher or whatever, and you feel like sharing, post in the comments below and I'll respond. To all the teachers, all the student teachers, all the master teachers, all the retired teachers, anybody in the education field, have an awesome summer, and just remember that you deserve it. Relax by the pool. Just stay up till 4 a.m. playing video games. Continue working on that book, which is what I'm going to do. I feel a sneeze coming. It's just not there. Have an awesome summer. Relax. And we'll see you back in August. That's all I have to say. So this isn't goodbye by any means. Or any nices.